Welcome, trainers, to the PokeSphere. We're your destination for in-depth Pokemon news, community discussions, and editorial content. We're passionate about this franchise, and we're here to share our insights and connect with fellow fans. So let's talk Pokemon. So this episode, we're going to be splitting into two. Currently, recording date is the 22nd of February. We are hot on the heels of Pokemon Day. And as tradition, we get together to do a prediction, and then we come back the next week just to talk about the reveals and what we thought about what we saw versus what we were hoping to see. So let's get into it. For me, this is always what I call Game Freak's gift to me, because Pokemon Day always lands a week prior to my actual birthday. So it's always cool to see what gets announced, what gets dropped. And, starting with the whole announcement that on Pokemon Day, you will be able to purchase the digital versions of FireRed and LeafGreen. Both are absolutely amazing games. If you've never gotten the chance to play the original Kanto region, the remakes are beautifully done. There's a lot of care that was involved in them. And outside of just the price tag that they decided to tack onto this, as well as some functionality that was removed, I'm actually I'm happy to see them, but I'm not happy about the price tag that they decided to attach to them.
I want to say it is kind of odd that they kind of announced it the week before, but I feel like them doing that means maybe they're not gonna talk about it on Pokemon Day exactly. Maybe they'll just say something like, "Oh yeah, available now," kind of thing. Like maybe at the end of the show, or in the beginning of the show, or available after this presentation kind of thing. Because maybe they just have something else to talk about on that day.
Oh, I was surprised to see that they dropped something this big, this product, especially not a week before Pokemon Day dropped. And I was looking, I'm like, what the heck? Normally I check my day and between stuff, see if there's anything new that's popped up. But the prices, I'm fine with that because it's only $20 better than having for each one you buy a $60 or $70. So, and the original price when it was released on GBA, it was only $40 each. Basically fair price.
I just have to offer a brief moment of silence for every collector that actually has the GBA versions of these and saw the massive price drop within the moment of that announcement. Moment of silence over. I'm sorry for you guys, because I'm sure that probably cut the price in half. But the fact that getting classic games that have or are promised to have Pokemon Home compatibility is something that I've been asking for a long time. And honestly, something I've even wanted to try to do content with and do a world tour, which this is going to allow me to do if I wish to invest in it. That said, if they're going to charge me $20 per region and we're going to do separate regions instead of doing a collected, arcade sort of collection vibe for it, I don't know. This is going to get pricey very fast. And no online capabilities that they try to sneak in the fine print. Ooh, hairs on my neck are standing up, Draco, my guy.
Yeah, this was met with a bit of a mixed bag. There's a lot of people that are happy about it. There's a lot of people who are like myself, kind of griping about the price tag that they decided to choose to throw on this. But, that aside, surprising the fact that they did make this announcement a week prior makes me wonder what else we're going to get to hear about now, outside of the normal fluff of, Pokemon Cafe, Pokemon Sleep. What's the other title that's cross-platform?
Unite.
Is it Unite? Yeah, thank you. Unite, yeah.
I mean, Unite, Go.
Yeah, I wouldn't, and then of course the TCG, those are pretty much obligatory at this point. We're probably going to see stuff about Pokemon Champions and learn more about that particular app that's coming out. And of course, because it is the 30th anniversary, we're hoping to see, stuff about Gen 10. And there's a lot of rumors and speculations out there now. I'm going to be honest, I have avoided social media a lot. So much so to my own detriment because of the fact that I don't want to accidentally come across anything that might be potentially a spoiler. I don't want my view of the day's events, the day's announcements, to be tainted with a wishful thinking, hoping that a specific rumor could be actually a leak. So, like, I've been pretty good about that. I don't know if you guys have been able to dodge those things. What I'm hoping to see is a cross-platform generation announcement, so that people who are on Switch still can play Gen 10 while there's an enhanced version of for Switch 2 players. Just because of the fact that the Switch 2 is a much more hardy system, it can do more. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but for many of us who haven't jumped ship off the Switch yet, to be forced to jump onto the Switch 2 just to play Gen 10 would kind of feel like a little bit of a disservice, considering the fact that the system is still relatively new and the asking price for the system is still pretty high and out of reach, especially given the fact that we're dealing with a lot of industry issues that have come about due to AI data centers. So I'm kind of hoping to hear that there's going to be a cross-generation release as far as systems goes. But I also would love to see them do a collection series of just some of the older Pokemon games. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing something like that, but I would definitely like a physical release for something like that. Kind of like the Mega Man X collection, where the first 4 games are on the cartridge, and you can just pop it into the system and start playing. And I kind of hope that this is the case when it comes to Game Freak. I mean, they could even go so far as putting, let's just say, Fire Red, Ruby, and X and Black on one cartridge, and then you get all of the other remaining ones on a separate game and still sell it as a two game combo. But that's just kind of what's on my wish list, and I know that last one's kind of a really high reach. But what about you guys? What are you guys hoping to see this event?
I mean, what you were talking about where they were doing like generational collections or something, exactly what I meant by like an arcade collection. One disc or whatever that you could put in, and it would be like all the games of a specific gen. So Gen 1 is kind of hard to say, but like right now, as we're moving into where you're getting some side games, or getting all of the ones from the original Game Boy Color on one disc, and then you get the Game Boy Advance collection, and then you get DS collection, which that way they're limited, they don't have to keep doing different interfaces for the different games that are in the collection. They can do it based on like what system they were, kind of like they're doing the digital consoles, but this would be the Pokemon way of doing it, because if they put it on the digital console, that's only just Nintendo getting money, as far as I'm aware. In terms of anything beyond the remakes that we're getting, I guess you can call them that, the reports, I'm really dodging everything because I strongly feel that the leaks ruined the fun of being a Pokemon fan going into hype season. There's no more, a cool idea? Yeah, that'd be awesome. What if Charizard could shoot ice instead of fire, or both? Like the dragons in fantasy pictures with ice lung. Things would like felt like you were in the child's schoolyard, making rumors, just putting the random ideas off, and that's it. Now everything's labeled and packaged like a leak, and you're so afraid that it might be true that you don't even want to join in those conversations because it can ruin the future of anything in this franchise for you. I'm hoping to be surprised on Pokemon Day. That is my biggest hope, and that has been my biggest effort. And anyone who's there with me, I'm proud of you doing the same thing. It's hard to make predictions on of course I'm expecting to see something for Gen 10, and we're going to be talking about Pokopia, which Lost Cause, IMO, and that's where my prediction really comes down to. I just want to be surprised because I've been dodging everything, and I just want to see Gen 10 and something that I can be so ecstatic for that when I finally get a physical copy in my hand, much like when I got Legends of Arceus, I was holding it above my head as a 30-year-old something running through the kitchen of my job, like I just got a trophy from like the local newspaper or something. That's what my prediction is. I want anything to give me that feeling about Pokemon.
Okay, for the Gen 10, I avoid most of the like leaks of rumor. I see some of it, and then I'm not gonna believe anything, until they reveal it, I'll see. And then for Pokemon Day, we're looking to more stuff. Let's see what they have in store for us. And where I would like to see return is more of the Pokemon spin-off game like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Adventure, etc. And for prediction, it's hard to say what they're gonna show because there's a lot of things that could return. Also, we're gonna have new stuff too as well besides the vocal game, the other stuff that we're going. And I'm excited to see what they have in store for us. Let's hope this is gonna be 25 minutes, so it's gotta be a lot they're gonna show too, and they're gonna talk about it after they show it too. So
Right. Well, I got a list. Well, maybe not a list, but like a long list. But okay. So my top predictions that I'm kind of like really just kind of hoping for is they kind of coincide with each other. Like these are my top, like the top two that I kind of want to see. And I feel like I pitched this last year too, but I'm predicting new Pokemon movie. They're just gonna drop a new Pokemon movie like title or something.
Oh,
And-
that
and
would be
like,
cool.
well,
Okay,
Yeah,
good one.
It's been so long. Like I'm not even talking about like Detective Pikachu 2. I mean like an animated movie. Like back to like whatever was the last cartoon or anime more like movie that we've had. And to coincide with that, maybe it's a movie with the return of our boy Ash Ketchum. Satoshi. That's what I'm kind of predicting there. Like those are like the top two things that I want to see. That's not like video game related too. Because that'd be really great. Like I'm kind of been missing the Pokemon movies. I know I still haven't watched like Mysteries of the Jungle or anything either. Like I need to go and watch that. But yeah, I'm kind of missing that. I mean, like if that's one way to keep Ash into the series still too, just put him in the movies, in like these standalone movies. Like that's great. So I'm also alongside like Ryu here about some either ports or brand new editions of like the spin-off games, right? Like I'm predicting Conquest port. I know it's a DS game, but I mean they made BDSP work somehow, even if that was also remade. I feel like they can, like any of the DS games, like they can do something with that. Like of course Pokemon, big company, already charging us a lot of money for something like a FireRed and LeafGreen thing that I think they said they're releasing on Pokemon Day too. So I would love to see that. Pokemon Conquest, the Mystery Dungeon game, the brand new one, just for people who love that game, of course too, or that franchise of the game. Shoot, give us like some kind of Gen 5 news, predicting some Gen 5 like game news, whether it's like, well, I don't think they'll go into a Legend style game for it, but that'd be kind of cool. Definitely ports. Give it the BDSP treatment. I don't care. I'll take it. What else? Another big one, I think I pitched this last year too. Like Pokemon Warriors game. I still think that'd be like a fun concept to do.
The Pokemon Conquest game, or I'm sorry, Pokemon Warrior style game based on the Kalos War.
Heck yeah. Give us that. I'll take that. I saw that or even like how they did it with was it Lucario and the Mysteries of Mew? I think they had Pokemon wearing armor. I want to see that. That was pretty cool.
Hey guy, I need some of your copium right now.
It was really cool. Like when I saw that in that movie, I was like, oh, that's pretty sick. It's like, is that an Aggron wearing armor still, or is that a Rhydon wearing armor? And he's not even a Rotherian. Give me that. I'll take it.
Bro said I'd rather have that than Rhyperior anyways.
Yeah.
Honestly, I like the idea of the movies because you know what? You kind of touched on something I kind of overlooked. Because again, it's been so long since we've seen an actual Pokemon movie in theaters. I just hope it's not a remake of a remake of a remake. Because we got the story of what was it? The first movie. We got it. The first movie. We had the first movie in CG. Then we had a retelling of the first movie with Marshadow.
Oh yeah.
What are you gonna do? The
Fun one.
first movie
Like that
with
one.
Marshadow in CG. Now in Technicolor. It's gonna be claymation now. This is the Pokemon, the first movie in claymation.
I mean, concierge.
Concierge is fun.
But I'm talking about the first movie again, but in claymation.
I don't think I can watch that, Coach.
No, they have to do Pokemon the second movie in old flip style animation in the old cells.
But that's also another good point too. Like another part of my prediction is like maybe they'll drop like another season or something of Concierge. I do adore the series. It's like a comfy, cute watch. So I wouldn't be opposed to like seeing that as well. Like they drop like another season. Because I feel like they only announced that like every Pokemon Day and then like a new season comes out or something. So I'm also down for that.
Now we've seen them do some collaborations.
Any kind of spin-off, like I would definitely like to see like a Pokemon Ranger thing too. I still want to see that. Give me a chance to finally play that game. Well, I think everybody's already suspecting Gen 10 news, like any sort of Gen 10 news, so I can put that out on the side for really. I mean, I'm excited, don't get me wrong. It's that, that everyone's already kind of predicting that, so there's that. I think about Champions release date, I would be thrilled if they dropped it the same day, I guess. I'm predicting they drop Champions on that same day, I guess. That would be my prediction for that game particularly. And if not, they'll finally give us a release date, because I'm pretty sure they said they were going to use Champions as the format for Worlds this year, so they got to drop that thing soon-ish, at least. Oh, okay. I think the most boldest take, which probably not going to happen unless they drop some kind of like Gen 10 like news gameplay or something, but I think introduction of a new evolution could also happen on that day. A little bit of a fart, like maybe not, most likely not gonna happen, but I feel like if they drop like some kind of Gen 10 news kind of thing, they can do it. Like, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I forgot, but didn't they kind of like tease Sylveon on like a Pokemon Day or a Pokemon Presents or something? Like they're like, hey, here's this brand new Pokemon. Can anybody have any guesses? Like, I don't remember if they said it was an evolution at that time. But if they did, they didn't tell us what type it was, which was a brand new typing. Heck, no, they'll even drop a brand new typing. I doubt that, though. That one I highly doubt.
Yo, pass over some of that copium because I want to huff that too. We're long overdue for some evolutions.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, they can even bring back that flying type that they said they were trying to do the first time, I think, right? Like, they're going to drop the flying type Eevee. It's like, yeah, just drop it. Drop it.
There.
You guys already put out like, oh, any fan art that you guys make or any fake mon you guys make of like any of our Pokemon, we own the rights to it already. So drop the damn flying evolution already. Just do it.
I don't know. We harkening back to what, like 2-3 years ago when we were still Pondcast, and we did a whole episode about evolutions and how they could, in theory, bring any of the remaining typings to fruition. I mean, you could just reuse the same exact methodology of evolving Inkay into Malamar with Eevee going flying and just flip your switch upside down.
Like that. Use that as scope day.
But I'm down for a new evolution. I mean, that's chronically on my bingo card. That one and Pokemon Dream World. But that's a stretch. Even for me, that's a stretch these days. But that's pretty much our predictions right before.
That's definitely a Rubble content one right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, trainers, we are back for part 2 of this prediction reaction video. Today we are joined by Gurin, Chase, Sunryu, X, and our special guest, Unseelie King. We have all pretty much watched this trailer, haven't we?
Yeah.
All right.
Multiple times.
I didn't get a bingo.
We definitely want to talk about what we saw. And I'm going to start off by saying that I do really appreciate the fact that they did go through the whole generational images again in a new way. In this case, it was like painted watercolors of Kanto, Johto, Sinnoh, Hoenn, all the different regions. And it was like painted watercolors, and you can see what made those regions memorable.
Aside from that, if I could just jump in and add, the reason they went with the painted watercolor is because that's what Ken Sugimori originally did all the original artwork for the beta and everything for, which I think is one of the details that a lot of people missed in them choosing that facet for the 30th anniversary.
That's actually awesome to know that they did do a call back to Sugimori. And then we get to the point where you get this big bright-eyed Pikachu who's got some really interesting texture work on him, popping his face up on the camera, and then you go outside, someone opens the door, and you see a beach house. And of course you see the silhouettes of the two Pikachu that are greeting you. And Chase, you had something to say about that one?
So, I don't know if this was their intention or not, but I like to think that Mr. Windy Chew, who's probably going to be one of our guides for the Wind version specifically, is based on the Flying Pikachu, and Mrs. Wavy Chew, who's possibly going to be the guide for the Waves version, is based on the Surfing Pikachu, because it lines up a little bit too well. So I'm inclined to believe that that's the case, which I think is a really nice callback if that is the case.
Also, another thing is, aren't they the shiny color, or are they just tan?
Both?
It would be nice if they were shiny, but
No, they're just normal color.
No, but when I saw these two at first, like when they first, they dropped, I'm like, oh snap! Okay, there's like two Pikachu's here. What are they like the? I mean, I'm assuming like, my first assumption. Oh, you're at like some kind of like beach hotel, right? Like you mentioned earlier. It's like, are these two like are like the mascots for this hotel right now? They're pretty interactive. And then I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, are they gonna start speaking at any moment right now? Are we finally gonna get voice acting in this?
If we don't get voice acting, it's just gonna be as awkward as Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, they need to add at least like sound effect grunts or something, right? Like I feel like they could do something like that at least.
Well, Legend of Zelda with it. I mean, even if they don't want to do that, at least do it for cutscenes and the cinematic moments. Like,
Oh yeah,
the
Yeah.
DLC was so flatlined just because they didn't give that crescendo of emotion when Briar discovered what she discovered.
Okay.
yeah. Or Kieran being all like, no, I'm going to catch it.
Moving forward, and I have to, one thing I do have to point out, it looks like the colors that those Pikachu are wearing are also the same colors that the trainer would be wearing, depending on what version you get.
oh yeah, all the way down to the hats are also the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, of course, you get this view of the water and the terrain. You see the windmill. You see a bunch of Pokemon out in the wild. There looks to be like some kind of a water park or a theme park of some sort, which I kind of want to see a reference to, because I'm pretty sure this is a reference to something.
I don't know. So theme parks here aren't too big. So what my mind went to immediately was like a weather station almost. So like
Oh,
for monitoring like wind, water, currents, etc.
okay. I could see that.
I like that a lot, Chase, because especially for like when you think about the waves aspects and one of the mechanics that they're reintroducing that we'll see later on in this, I'm gonna save that for that part because yeah, the implications of that might be very for biologists.
And I hope there is some kind of tie-in between the games more so than there already has been, because like the winds also help dictate like waves and such, along with obviously the moon and gravity and all those sciencey things.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, you also, like, when you saw the windmill, it looks made of wood. It looks like it's very old, and they cut to that modern building where you've got the wind turbine on the top, and it's very modern, very new age type built design. So it's an interesting mix to see both your classic and your modern buildings into it. And of course, they do show the trainers in their respective colors for wind and waves, which I thought was kind of cool.
I mean, that's suitable for one of the ideas that I think we even pitched when we were first watching this and we were streaming it in Vorian's team. shout out for Unseelie sitting in the room here. It feels very much like we're on a nature reserve sort of themed vacation, where like that might be the resort that we're staying. We're going to be visiting these different wild areas and nature places and more rustic towns. That's why that looks so modern and new age, is because that's the resort that they built up there, and they're not trying to disturb the cultural experience that the tourists are here to have.
Now, of course, they did say that this isn't final footage or anything, but I mean, if this is even remotely close to what they're going to give us, I think we are in for a treat. Because you actually they showed the Pokemon just flying out in the wild more natural than I think they've been in the past.
Hey, look at that tree. Hey, look at that one piece of tree over there. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
You mean the trophies?
Yeah, and the Tropius being in there pretty good. Also, I get my Papa told that. Heck yeah.
Love me a good banana dinosaur.
You can definitely see the different textures of the palm trees.
Oh yeah, definitely. It looks really good. And I just thought of something too, like from what X was saying, if this is like this resort or whatever that we're at, right? Imagine, maybe the character is like helping out the resort kind of thing, right? Or maybe they asked the trainer, like, oh yeah, try to help us, like, I don't know, maybe like search around for stuff that we can do, or like what kind of Pokemon are living around here kind of thing, right? And then DLC is that resort place open up a branch location somewhere else, maybe in a different region that we've already been to. That's what resorts like to do, right? They like to open up a branch location, right? I'm just saying, that's like DLC possibilities right there.
I think that's the professor's lab.
What's funny too, that icon near that I think that scene when you're passing by what looks like a store is pretty cool, because it looks like a shopping cart kind of thing. So that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's really hard to pinpoint on some of these on where potentially this game is going to be taking place. Although when hanging out with Unseelie and Thor's guys, we had our own conclusions, which we'll get to at the end. But I mean, here's another shot where we've seen the water, the character looking over the water. Now, I don't know anything about the Switch 2, but I have to admit, if this is what we're getting, or even remotely close to getting, graphically speaking, I have to admit that they definitely upped their game as far as the terrain goes.
That water does look big.
That water looked good.
Yeah. Not only that,
It does.
not only that, the reflections and the refractions of the light.
Oh, look at the hair physics. They got hair physics.
Well, it works for the winds.
Yup.
So I kind of dropped it earlier. The reason I think that what we're calling like the resort or park or whatever might be also the professor's lab is because I'm getting very like aqua biology vibes going on, where the professor is going to be about the interactions of the sea life and the other Pokemon that thrive like in the skies or on the beaches, and the interactions that are going on. It just feels very aquabiologist, ecosystem based. Just kind of overall the way that you're going through these different nature elements, and then you're also in this very modern sort of resort lab thing. I mean, you had the idea that we eventually see we're diving underwater and we're exploring ecology and environment. I've heard rumors that they might be bringing soaring back, where we'll be able to fly on our Pokemon, which would be absolutely amazing. I missed that. Did you guys miss that? I missed that.
A little bit.
Dude, I just want to be able to dive again.
Right? And we'll get to that part too, but I mean, they run through the cave with the lava flow in the background, and I'm just like, wow.
Slugma.
Yeah, like everything seems so vibrant, so much more alive. Like even down to when you're looking at that little coastal town that they had with the little walkways. If you ever look at pictures of areas like this, you'll see where the little coral has the different flowers underneath that are growing and everything. It looks so much like this. It is absolutely incredible that they managed to replicate something to look almost as good as a picture. And again, we all know that the Switch 2 has limitations, But if this is still within the Switch 2 limitations, that's a pretty good. That's a damn pretty good limitation. I mean, even the sunset looks good too. You know,
Glowing slug mode.
But, yeah, like Garen was saying, there might be cool elements where they can use that, so you can have your Slugma walk with you so that it lights up, corners of caves or something where they hide items. That would be really incredible ass to work in and actually make Pokemon feel like they're biological creatures rather than these cartoon characters.
yeah, that'd be nice.
Anybody take a look at that Pikachu that's over here? Don't you think it looks oddly too high definition compared to everything else right now?
Actually, I like the new model for it though. Looks very good.
It might be the same model, just a reskin.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of like the first episode anime Pikachu a little bit. I mean, of course it's not as round, but just the way like it's doing like it's posed there a little bit, it kind of reminds me of that for some reason. I don't know why, it just does.
Draco, going back to that, the Pikachu that we just saw, if you notice, when the main character throws the Pokeball, there is no Pokemon standing in front of it.
Oh yeah.
Please give me overworld catching. That is my favorite modern mechanic of Pokemon.
That Pikachu appeared, she threw a Pokeball.
You can take away my remote access to the PC if you give me overworld catching. Don't care.
My only problem with that is because of the cutaway that they did for that, like it makes me think, I don't know, I really want it to be like how the catching is in like the Legends games. Cause like it really looked like there's like some kind of weird cut in there, and it's like it's gonna still bring you to like a like quote unquote like screen. I mean,
Well, I think it's just the way they zoomed in.
yeah, that's why that's what kind of troubles me a little bit. But I would really love it if they kept like how the catching was in those Legends games, right? Because I think that's what everybody wants, honestly, at least, right? So that'd be great, and they can do it. Technically, we can do it. They already did it for 2 games.
They didn't show us any battle mechanics though, so that brings up the question: are we going to be traditional, or are we going to be?
That's what I was just going to say. They did not show us any battling, and that makes me wonder if they didn't show us battling because of the mixed response that real-time battles got for ZA.
I'd be okay if all our overworld stuff was like the Legends mechanics, and then like for things like maybe gym battles at least, or if there's any gyms, of course, like any kind of like important battle scenes, like if they make it like a regular turn base, I'd be okay with that.
So I like how each of the area they show us, it's giving me a loading vibe because each area is different. There's like lava, forests and stuff. And I love the water area in this game. It's really good. And but lyrics, I'm glad they brought the underwater diving back, so that'll be fun. Yeah.
So, there's a screenshot here of the Wingull where you get a real good up close look. And I remember in the stream somebody saying, they look almost like Pokemon Concierge. And this is kind of one of those moments where I kind of see it, where they look more claymation, which isn't a negative in my book, by the way. I want to specify this because I'm ancient. My birthday is in a couple of days. And I grew up on hand animation. I grew up with claymation, stop motion animation. For me, it hits. There's a vibe I get when I see something that resembles so very close to claymation animation, but better. And this is kind of where I'm feeling it, because there's a sense of like it's real, but it's not, and it lives in that uncanny valley for me. And it's one of those moments where the uncanny valley is actually comfortable, and I like it. So that's kind of where I'm sitting at when I'm looking at this. Issues that I have with things aside. Again, if you watched our previous episode, you'll understand. But I mean, I can appreciate at the very least the aesthetic that they went for with this game.
Actually, I have to disagree a little bit. I thought it looked more reminiscent of new Pokemon Snap and how the models or the Pokemon themselves interact and look in their environments.
I really need to sit down with that game and play it, but I've been waiting for my wife to finish it. It's her game.
I've heard several people compare the way that it looks to Pokemon Snap, and I'm honestly glad that the Pokemon look a lot more incorporated to their environments, where I felt like they were just sort of laid over the top, so to speak, in Scarlet and Violet. And even in some cases, when it comes to the wild areas of Legends ZA.
Yeah, we're gonna see some Bamco special thanks to in here. Maybe some outsourcing done. Let's go. Finally.
We also have a nighttime shot with Krabbies and a Sandygast with the moon. I have to admit, I absolutely love that you can look in the moon and see the shapes, the shadows, the same way you could in our actual moon. They didn't just make it a white ball in the sky. There's actual texture work in there, that I can see.
I'm just glad Krabby's back again.
Look at the colors. Look at how vibrant all this is. You got the Corsola, which means we're hoping to get maybe Cursula at that point too.
Oh.
We've got Marini,
That Marine.
We have Raid Tower in the back.
Time Pole, Slugmas. They did a really nice job of showcasing the different environments, different times of day, and then the lighting for each area. Now, again, not final footage, but if they're close to this, I'd be impressed.
Oh no, that blade of grass looking
It's kind of sus.
It's this just ran at 20 FPS.
Now, of course, we get to the spot with the starter Pokemon, where we are introduced to Brout, the controversial Pom-Bomb, and of course Gekwa. And
Deck was laughing because it knows something.
I know something you don't know.
I wonder what achievements I can earn by having Brout teach me different languages.
I think that was the best comparison I saw on the internet though. And I think they even
Duolingo had a post where they were
My
like, we finally made it.
My favorite Duolingo tweet to come out of this was, "You never see us in the same room."
Yeah. Yeah, no, Duolingo leaned hard into this.
Good for them, though.
Yeah, but controversy set aside, if they're leaning into this and taking it in good nature, I'm okay with it. They're acknowledging it. They're like, yeah, it's fine. The fact that they're just leaning hard into that was great, but overall, I found the designs for the first two at my first glance to be okay. But when I saw Gekwa, for me, the color scheme, the eyes, just the overall design resonated with me, and I generally gravitate toward fire starters. But this is one of those times where Gekwa was like, yo, I'm better.
That's because at his heart, he's a Lisa Frank princess.
You shut your pothole. But what were your guys' thoughts about it? So, you know what, since Sun, you were really passionate about this particular topic, what was your go-to Pokemon that you think you would going to grab?
Well, I was thinking about choosing Brout Grass Starter, but I'm thinking I'm going to go towards Greywolf because I'm really liking this lizard, and I love water Pokemon since I believe it was the first type that I found out. Because, I just got evolved into Gyarados in this Squirtle. There's obviously my favorite Gen 1 starter. And they'll look pretty good, but I think if I had to choose, pick one, it'd probably be the Gecko water Pokemon. Yep.
I've always, just to make my decisions easier, except for when I was playing X and Y, I've always chosen the water starter in general. So I'm definitely going with the water starter. But if just looking at the designs alone, when they first dropped, I was like, I really wasn't feeling Brout at first because I was like, is this a Pokemon? I was thinking this doesn't scream Pokemon to me, right? And then I look at the dog and immediately I thought, oh, this pupper is definitely gonna be #1 fan favorite for sure. Most people love a good doggo, especially on the internet. So I think this is gonna be #1. So I kept thinking, this thing's gonna be a little bit too mainstream for me. And yeah, and then I just saw the Gekwa, and I was like, oh cool, it's a water starter, it's a lizard. Possibility of getting a water dragon type, two of my favorite typings in the entire game. It's you know what? Yeah, this is great. This works out for me. It looks cool. It's the water type. I'm getting it.
bit of a tough conversation actually, because I wanted to hold off on choosing who I'd actually go with, because I don't know if I'm going to play the games. I'll have to wait and see if they turn out as good as they should be, given that, like, you know, I didn't play Plaz or whatever the Last Legends game shorthand is. Shout out Plaz from our Discord. You know, it's a great group of starters, and I'm gonna have to go with Gekwa if I do play the games, because Gekwa is just so slay. I love it. It's amazing.
All right, X.
Y'all gonna hate me. I gotta go with Ponbon, and I think two people in this room are gonna hate for the reasons why I'm gonna go with it, other than the fact that my first playthrough is almost always with the fire starter. But secondly, the idea when I first saw that little puppy that popped in my head was they finally gave Slurpuff's personality to a design that I enjoy. Because Slurpuff was like this weird gnome licky thing, but I love the personality. It was always a great thing. And now I finally have something I think is cute and that I can love and that I can throw around like Mouser in Super Mario Brothers 2 at anyone who wants to give me hate because they think Slurpuff is cuter. And also that way I can use the excuse that taking this one, I can tell Draco that I immerse myself into cassette beat. I'm out.
You know what though? I used to not like Slurpuff as a design. Then I saw and heard it in Legend ZA. And I instantly told myself, no, this is a great Pokemon.
Okay, so I got really excited when I first saw the dog because I was just excited for a dog starter. I'm not gonna lie, I love pets, so I'm a little sad we didn't get a water cat. But I'm honestly, as much as I love Sobble after he hits up the Gucci store, I'm probably gonna go with Brout because I just resonate with this little dude's attitude. Like, me and my guy, we can be grumpy old men together, and I'm a fan of that. I'm a big fan of that. Strings, if you're listening, I am not 10,000 years old.
So of course, you know, they do the quick whole, hey, you know, here's each one of them. They show off a little bit of their personality, their derpy looks. And then of course we cut into the scene where they just start panning up from the water. And of course there's this little mysterious serpent looking cloud up in the scene where it's like it's darker than everything else. It's like, look at me, don't look anywhere else. And so, you know, people are speculating that's a hint to what the legendary is going to be, or one of them is going to be shape-wise at the very minimum, or typing, or both.
Yeah, I got a theory about that. I feel like, I mean, maybe this is weird because like technically Scarlet and Violet already did it, but I feel like the legendary is gonna look exactly the same, like silhouette, everything as well. And then just, you know, just going based off of like the game types or the game names, like one's gonna be like, you know, flying type's got that flying motif going for it, and then the other one's gonna be like water type, and then it's got like the water motif stuff going for it. That's what I don't know. That was just what I was speculating on it, but
Okay.
I think they're messing with us because that straight up just looks like a Gyarados silhouette.
Nah, it's just a cloud. You're seeing things. It looks normal to me.
Looks normal to me.
or it could be a Digimon, or it could be a Digimon.
Well, I mean, you don't see anything in the water, so like you would think Wind and Waves, there's going to be a water type legendary and a flying type legendary, so it's like, which one is which? But I'm not seeing anything in the water as far as something like that is concerned, so I'm not entirely sure.
Are we talking about the Grandpa Cloud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grandpa. Because if you look at it, it's not even moving. All the other clouds are moving. That one isn't.
Well, it's so... Did they just forget, like, be like, oh, we needed to move, we need to make this cloud move? Because if it had dispersed...
Unless the legendary is the same for both games. And it's like flying and water type. So basically Gyarados on some steroids.
But then, of course, they splash deep into the water, and it gives us a taste of what we are speculating most likely to be, that we're going back to diving and being able to go underwater.
So I actually haven't done it yet. My plan is to go through the water section frame by frame, because if they gave us a hint in the clouds, something tells me that we missed something in here.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You mean under here? As in under the sea.
If I do not get Sebastian in this game, there will be hell to pay.
Well, he's right there. See? There he is. And there's his brother and his cousin.
You gotta catch your shiny Magikarp and name it Flounder.
Don't you steal my idea. Don't you steal my idea.
I think the most surprising bit about this whole presents wasn't the name, because the funny thing is that we've been hearing rumblings about Wind and Waves for years now. Because I remember Gen 9 not even out yet, and we were discussing a Pokemon Wind and Waves. But the surprising thing was the global simultaneous release in 2027. I think that's where a lot of people went, wait, what? Part of me feels like this was unfortunately due to the recent shortages of chips, thanks to NVIDIA deciding that they want to go all in on AI data centers versus splitting and staying with, the gamers that actually made the money to begin with. It could also be the fact that the price point of the Switch 2 is still a bit steep, especially considering the situations going on, right now with the tariffs and whatnot in certain areas, and potentially they're just trying to push back the release date to make sure that they have a supply of systems for release of this game, because there is a very strong correlation that when a new Pokemon game comes out, the system that game is on spikes in sales. So, I mean, if they needed to stockpile some stuff for release to drop with Wind and Waves, that would kind of make sense that they would want to push back the release date a little bit instead of releasing on the actual 30th. But I mean, that's just my opinion on the situation, just given what the situations we're dealing with right now.
So there's also another interesting facet to the release window what would traditional release window for Pokemon core games in 2026 is the announced release window for Grand Theft Auto 6. And as much as people don't think that really coincides, that's going to be a really big release. And if they aren't in the same demographic or the same market, you're going through the same retailer sources, and that might cause some congestion and just overall issues in shipment and trying to match that double large demand. So they might have chose to push it off, and we might see this very early in 2027.
But I think it's slightly more simple than that, although I do think both of you guys' points are plausible. I think because it seems like Pokemon is now trying to branch the series to cater for everyone. So the guys who want that adventure can then pick up the main series games. Guys who are just in it for, the competitive scene. You've got champions now. You've got your mobile players with Pokemon Go. And now you've got your more comfy sim-like games with Pokopia. And I think they want to keep the focus on Pokopia and not shift that away to actually see how well or how poorly this game is going to be received.
I actually agree with Chase. There's a reason why Champions did not release in March, and I think it has less to do with like timetables and making sure it's ready, and I think it has more to do with they are putting a lot of faith and a lot of, I guess, hopes on Pokopia, and they want that to be the center of attention for a while. They want that to be a success. They want you to be able to do something completely new within the Pokemon franchise. So I think the 2027 release is a smart release. What I'm hoping is that this feels like a summer game. I'm hoping it releases in the summer.
If they're going to start doing that, then I want games that are more involved in the lore of the Pokemon world clearly. Like, I'm not saying that Pokopia is not going to give us some sort of story that connects to the overall thing, whether it's post-apocalyptic or whatever, but like, aren't they giving us some of the simple things? Like, imagine a mobile game where it's maintaining a gym, or We had a discussion in the past about like having jobs where you can be a breeder, where the whole thing is like trying to, breed maxing and make the best Pokemon, or get requests like, oh, I want to get a shiny this, and now you have to breed a shiny that. Like, and there's different stipulations to your clients that you have to do to fulfill it. Like, making so many things that are branched off of the very core and very foundational Pokemon world that would be very intriguing to old and new players alike, instead of doing these very like, look, this game style was popular for that franchise, let's just do this but for Pokemon now.
But the real question is, game key card or not game key card?
I
right.
hope no
Like,
game.
I quit. I'm not doing game key cards. You can keep your rentals. This isn't RSC, and Blockbuster's dead. Goodbye.
It's gonna be game key cards. Like that's all but like assured. I know.
All right.
Like,
Now the final question is, do you guys want to speculate on a region where we're going
Yeah.
this time around?
I have 2 ideas.
Go ahead.
First pick that I would absolutely love, I would go nuts for, is if it was a Greek-styled region. Because the Greek Isles, they have a lot of... It's broken up into a lot of little islands. And from what I've seen, I think that might be a plausible choice. Given that I think it's going to be a region similar to what Alola was. It's separated into islands. You go to each island, you do your thing, destroy the environment, steal all the local wildlife, and then move on to the next one. My second option, which I think would actually be really, really cool, would be Thailand. Because I know Thailand's also got quite a few islands dotted around in a similar fashion. And I think it could make for a really interesting region.
Honestly, if man, I kind of want to just say just that game, and it just kind of feels like an Alola 2.0 for me, kind of thing. Like if it was extended, I don't know. Like I know that's not the case, but if I had to choose a region, if what's been going around the internet is like what's been happening, I'm okay with like a Southeast Asian region kind of thing, right? You can just incorporate a lot of different stuff from there. Like if you go as broad as saying Southeast Asia, right? Instead of like specifically like an Indonesian region or something. And like, yeah, I mean that's where I'm going. I'm just saying it to me it just seems like a Southeast Asian region, and it's like more focused on like island stuff. So
Yeah.
So my first thought of the region besides alone is Hawaii. The reason I mention Hawaii because they're surrounded by waters, and the first area, of course, is gonna be water mainly. So, and I like the idea that this water base in the first area that we're going through.
Yeah, but that we already had Hawaii with Alola.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm getting the vibe from the first area. But as a region base, let's see, like I said, the one I can only think of is right now is like Hawaii all day, maybe off island, or like, imagine we start from an actual island and then eventually move on to, to the city and stuff. Yep.
Okay. And now the reason I went in this specific order was because since Unseelie, X, and myself were all together on a call, we have our own speculation, and I think we're all kind of in the same boat. But I'm gonna start with X, then I'm gonna go, and then I'm gonna let Unseelie finish up because he's excited and I want him to explode. No,
Pokemon, Pokemon. Come to Brazil. Come on now. The Colombian Caribbean, the beautiful sights, the wonderful water, the islands, the vast and rich, deep culture, and not to mention that entire area culturally pays homage to ancestry and where we've came before. How is not a more beautiful location for the 30th anniversary of such a prolific global IP? It has to be the Colombian Caribbean, and we're finally going to go South Hemisphere, which is going to be breaking more rules than we've already seen with the starter trio broken. I'd be hyped for that.
So yeah, running with that, number one, I do believe we are going to South America because they are introducing Brazilian Portuguese as a supported language. We're seeing a lot of, if you cross-reference some of the images, yeah, there's some stuff that's happening out in the Middle East, like Dubai, some Indonesian, what looks like Indonesian influences, but there's also some Polynesian type influences that you can spot in the video. And it, there's only one place in the world you're going to find that kind of influence outside of that area. And to top all of that off, way back in 2023, I was seeing so much connection to South America and to Mexico, with the trio starters, with the legendary Pokemon. There are tweets upon tweets that I had made. I even recently relinked those old tweets because I wanted to show the receipts of what I had originally posted. And it was that the more I look at Generation 9 and the DLC, the more I can't help seeing strong connections to South America. From the starter Pokemon to the legendary Terapagos. If the current generation hints the next, then pack your bags because we're going South America bound. And so I truly, truly believe we are going to South America, which was funny because I believe not too long ago we also all discussed about how there's never been a South American based region ever. I mean, we went through all the maps together. So, but Unseelie, you ready to give us both barrels?
Baby, pack your bags. Spring break is coming to Pokemon. We're headed to Cancun. So here's the thing. When we were all live, one of our moderators, one of our channel hosts, he goes by Strings. He lives in Mexico, and while we were watching, all of a sudden he gets really quiet, which is very, very uncharacteristic for Strings. He's always talking, sometimes to his own detriment. But he gets quiet and he goes, "Wait a minute here. This looks like Mexico." And after doing a little, digging with X and Draco and Hayes and everybody else that was on the call, Cancun seems very apropos. It's a vacation hotspot. Resorts are huge. One of the biggest, I'll say, extracurricular activities there is diving. I need to do a little searching to see how they are with studying the ecosystem and all that, but it screams Cancun for me. And I believe a couple years ago, Game Freak was in Cancun. So I'm thinking pack your bags, we're going on vacation.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out where this is because
Oh yeah, the yellow dogs, the bird could be based off a Mexican jumping bean.
which we did an episode with. I'm kind of ashamed that it's not a grass bug type.
It could be. We don't know.
Wasn't about a yellow dog?
So Strings mentioned that in the Cancun area, there's a lot of the most popular dog it's a breed just called a yellow dog, which is very British. So he kind of hinted at the idea that Bomb, instead of being purely Pomeranian, could have been based more off of this yellow dog concept. And then if you think about the jumping bean, if Sprout itself is a bean that houses a bug, because birds eat insects, and it's clumsy and bounces about, maybe that bug takes over like a parasect for its evolution. We don't even get a final evil bird starter. We get some weird, I took your bird body and now I'm a mantis thing.
Who do you think they are? Digimon?
No, monster.
Isn't there a fungus in somewhere, I think it's in South America, that takes over ants and turns them into bug mech?
That's the cordyceps, sir.
That's the one. Yeah, good old Last of Us virus. Not virus, fungus.
Oh man.
Only time will tell where we lie, but I need to preface this before I finish this video. I have not worked for Nintendo or Game Freak, any subsidiary or anything like that. If I happen to be correct, or by the time the game comes out, 4 years prior, again, that was based on pure speculation.
I don't know how true that is.
I was gonna say, I mean, weren't you in Cancun recently? With on a company trip for part?
No, but he does have family that's pretty close.
No.
don't
Wait,
know.
hold on. Have none of you noticed that for the amount of things that Draco has, quote unquote, predicted exactly, we've never been jumped by the Nintendo ninjas.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's because we don't
Go.
actually call them leaks, and no matter what he says, we just always refer to it as fan speculation.
Great. Now you're going to see an AI-generated video from Unseelie of Masuda unmasking himself and it being me.
I don't know
mean,
how AI generated that is.
It's not AI generated. It's just
Well, when Unseelie presented it, I'm pretty sure he said this was the generative material for future AI creation.
I mean, we
I just find it
Just be-
suspicious how Draco had to sort of try and save his bacon just now.
That's because if I didn't do it now, you guys were going to do it later.
I mean, Draco, we've all seen the Coldplay picture. I mean, I'm just saying.
I
He
hate
told
you
me to share
so
that he
much.
posted just as honor.
Like, I mean, it's there. It's out. It's in the public eye. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to admit it.
I hate you.
I mean, he
so
probably
much.
wrote it on in shorthand, but it's unstay honor.
You all suck.
So on that note, Draco, do you want to tell us who you're firing for copying someone else's designs?
And when are we getting Mega Flygon because we're allowed to copy designs?
Yeah, how did you know that? Actually,
Huh?
X
What?
raises good points. How
Wait,
did you
what was
know
it?
about Mega Flygon and their quality control depth?
It's public knowledge. It's public knowledge. All right, so I guess I'll close this one up.
Seem
Alright.
very eager to nip this in the bud.
Well,
I
that
know
and-
now he wants to run. I'll take it. We're on our way to go do a second venue tour for our wedding venue. So
Oh, Got nice.
Nice.
So with that said, brings this episode to a close. What are your thoughts about the Pokemon Presents trailer for Generation 10? Your thoughts on what we saw, what your hopes are, and honestly, any honest criticisms, please. We'd love to hear it. Let us know down below. Also, be sure to share, like, subscribe. Let us know how we're doing. You can watch us on YouTube and Rumble. You can reach out to us on X. I'm on Blue Sky. And we do have our Discord. You can catch us there anytime.
Draco, I do have
Namaste.
one last question. One last question. Do I send my wedding invitation to Nintendo or do I send it to you?
In care of. To Draco in care of Nintendo.
And as always,
We'll see you in the next
video.